morning, everyone. A couple of months ago, I did a reaction to a book haul. In that video, I let you vote on which book that I had not read I should read. And I thought, why not do like a day in the life reading vlog, reading that book. By day in the life, it will probably be days in the life because I doubt I will finish this book all in one day. But I'll take you along, we'll read, we'll do whatever I do over these days, which may be not very much, I have no idea, but we'll do that stuff as well. And we'll read the book you chose for me. And the book out of the books that were in that video that I had not read that you chose was Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. I always have a fascination with the Titanic. I don't know why, maybe the movie came out when I was at like a, influential age, maybe. But I just love the Titanic. I also live very close to a lot of the Titanic things. There's a Titanic museum down by the waterfront here. The Titanic graves are in a graveyard here. So they brought back a lot of the stuff when they were kind of getting it out of the water when it happened to Halifax, and it is here. So I've always had kind of that connection of living near a place that was connected to the Titanic. So this book really focuses on an area of the Titanic that I have never really considered about stowaways on the Titanic. People we did not know were on there, who were not on the manifest. So, did they drown? Did they get away? We don't know what happened to them, and I'm going to follow a fictional story of someone like that. And I believe in this book we follow Vera. Let me double check the name though. No, sorry, Val. It had been a minute since I read the synopsis. We follow Val, who is a Chinese immigrant who is on the ship. Could not get on because it was actually illegal, I think, for Chinese immigrants to be on these ships. Yeah, Chinese people are not allowed into America at this time. So Val cannot get on the ship and has to stow away to get to America and chooses probably an unfortunate ship to stow away on. I'm going to go get this started very shortly, and I'll bring you along on my day/days as we read Luck of the Titanic. Before we jump into reading, I'm actually going to take a little trip to Homesense. I was so surprised that all their fall stuff is already out. I did not get any fall stuff on this trip. I needed to get a couple of pieces for my bookshelves down here. I recently did a little bit of a spruce and needed to find some products to put on these shelves. I did check out the book section. There is always like a weird assortment of books at Homesense. Then I did grab a salad on the way home. I'm addicted to these new taco salads from Superstore, and I've been eating them like crazy. Now I am decorating these shelves and putting in the pieces that I got. I went with a pink and green theme, mostly because you'll see it here in a minute. I found this plant, this fake plant that has pink and green in it. And I thought I would like pull from that to go with the things that I wanted to put on the shelves. That art print I just put up is actually from the art prints that I recently purchased from the author for Heir of Sun and Moon, and that's the plant that I was talking about. This was the last thing I picked up, was this little cactus. I think I'm going to put some bookmarks in it yet. I still haven't done so, but I think that's what I'm going to use it for. And here is the final product when I was finished, just showing you a little shot of these shelves. You may notice those throne of glasses are back. There is a story behind that. If you haven't heard it, it will be in a book haul coming up. Now it's time to read. I am gonna start this book, The Luck of the Titanic. And first I gotta take that dust jacket off. Question, do you read with the dust jacket on? I definitely don't. I always take it off, and I would love to know if you keep it on. I feel like most people take it off. There was this really neat map of the Titanic in the front of this book, and I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why. I assumed they thought I know what it looked like, but it was neat to have that in there. So it is getting closer to the end of the day. It is now 6 o'clock at night. We just finished dinner and I just finished chapter 11 of Luck of the Titanic. So I definitely wanted to give you an update of how I was feeling about this and also kind of more about what it was about because I gave you just a very general outline. So in this book, we follow Val, and Val shows up on the day the Titanic is leaving what I believe is London, somewhere in England. She was supposed to be going on the Titanic with someone called Miss Sloane. They both had tickets to go on the Titanic. Miss Sloane had tickets in first class and Val was going to go on as her maid. Miss Sloane passes away the week before this trip. So Val decides to still go. The tickets are already paid for. Like, I'm still going to go. Plus, my brother is on this ship. Val's twin brother, Jamie, actually is going to be working on the Titanic in the boiler room. He's worked on multiple ships, but he is now going to be on the Titanic. He has not seen Val in many years. They've communicated through letters, but obviously that takes a lot of time. And Val is going to surprise him on the Titanic. She shows up and is told, you cannot go on. Without Miss Sloane, you are not able to go on this boat due to the Chinese Exclusion Act. I think that's the name of the act. Let me see if it's in the synopsis. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. It's not in the synopsis, but I'm pretty sure that's what the name of the act is. So this is something in the United States where Chinese people are not allowed to enter the country unless they are coming with someone like in a maid situation. So she's told she can not come on the boat, and she does not accept that. She wants to see her brother. She has a ticket. She does not accept that as truth and climbs basically the side of the boat and gets on. Once on, she finds her brother. Her brother is like, you are not supposed to be on here. This is not going to go well. You don't understand that this act is going to make it impossible for you to go to America by yourself. And he's trying to explain that he knows more about the world because he's been out in it on these boats, and he knows about the prejudices against Chinese people in North America and also in other places and even on the boat. And we do see that on the boat as well with the couple of Chinese workers that work on the boat. Val hides the fact that she is Chinese by wearing a veil on her face. She has a British accent, so once her face is covered, people don't realize, and she pretends to be Mrs. Sloane and goes and pretends to be her on the ship. So the parts I'm liking about this book are the history. The history is really fascinating, and also the commentary about classism and racism on this boat and how the author is tackling that. I'm finding that very interesting. What I'm also discovering with this, though, is it definitely is historical fiction. And I, many years ago, read a lot of historical fiction. I don't really anymore. And I think that's part of doing these look back at these book hauls, which is where we decided to read this from, is when I bought books 2 or 3 years ago and then don't get to them, my reading taste changes. And therefore, I'm not necessarily as interested in reading these books or enjoying them as much as I maybe would have at the time. This is also YA. Again, I've kind of gravitated away from YA except in fantasy and thrillers. So now this is a genre I don't really read anymore, and also an age classification I don't really read anymore. Had I read this 2 or 3 years ago when I hauled this book, I don't remember the date of that haul, but it was at least 2 years ago, I probably would have enjoyed this more than I am today. One thing I've also discovered since picking up this book is that I don't like boat books. I say this all the time on sprints. I don't like boat books. The Titanic is a boat. And unfortunately, that is deterring from my enjoyment of this book as well, because there's only so much you can do on a boat. And a lot of this is just kind of boaty. We haven't really gotten to the Titanic specific stuff yet. I think I will enjoy that when we hit it. But right now, it's really boat centered. Most of this could have happened on any boat. Doesn't have to be the Titanic. So that is also taking away from my enjoyment of it. But I think a lot of my problem, not really problem, because I'm still enjoying it enough to continue, but I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more a few years ago when I was reading more historical fiction and when I was more into YA. And I think that is something to think about when I'm doing book hauls now. If I'm not going to read it, maybe in the next 6 months? Why am I bringing it in? Because there is a possibility that my reading taste will change and I will no longer be interested in reading that book. But I'm spending money on it and I'm hauling it and it's taking up space in my house. So that's something to really think about going forward. I'm liking how this vlog is showing me something about myself that maybe I haven't thought about before. So I am on page 103, again, the end of chapter 11, about to start chapter 12. I'll probably read more of this tonight. However, I want to get on my walking pad and get a little walking in first. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. And I am not going to read while on the walking pad because I don't particularly like to walk on the walking pad and I need something to like really distract me. So I think I'm going to pop on a movie. I don't know what movie I'm going to pop on, but I might pop on a movie. I probably won't watch the whole thing, so it'll probably be something I've watched before so that I can like dip in and out of it over the next few days on my walking pad, but I think that's my plan. So I will check back in with you probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll check back in with you today, but I'll talk to you tomorrow. I did jump on the walking pad exactly as I said. I tried to film this without it being too shaky, but it's hard to walk and film. I ended up watching Puppy Love. I think that's the name of this movie. I hadn't seen it before, but that's what I went with. Now it is on to the next day and I need some coffee to start with some caramel coffee. Now it's time to sit down and read. I did end up starting the day off reading on this day. I don't always do that, but I did on this day. I was reading to my own read with me. I don't normally watch my own read with me's. I try to support other creators, but I needed to watch this through to make sure the upload went well. On this day, I cleaned my windows, and this is the only time that you will see this, but I did want to show you my beautiful hydrangea bush. It's doing really well this year. This is going to be a pretty quick update because I don't have that much to say from what I said last time I talked to you. I am currently on page 224 and not much has happened. They are on the boat. They're interacting with passengers on the boat. They're interacting with each other, the brother and the sister. They're talking about what life will be like in America, and that's pretty much it. This is very much a boat book. I should have assumed that. But because it's the Titanic, I was expecting more Titanicness. Everything that's happened could have happened on any boat. Again, we're heading towards the point where they're going to hit an iceberg, so things are going to happen at some point, but we have not hit April 15th. April 15th? Pretty sure it was April 15th. We have not hit that day yet anyway. I think I'm just about to start April 14th, so we're getting close. We're getting close to iceberg status, but we're not there yet. However, I think I'm going to finish this tonight. I only have about 2 hours at my listening speed, and I have Patreon sprints that are just about to start. So I'm going to jump on those and read the remainder of this book. I just wanted to check in with you before I ran out and also check in with you today because I'll probably film the outro to this video and my final thoughts on the book tomorrow because we don't end until midnight and I'm not going to vlog at midnight. And I didn't want to go the whole day with just B-roll. I wanted to at least talk to you and kind of give you a little bit of how I'm feeling, which isn't much at this point. I'm not feeling a lot. Hopefully, once we hit an iceberg, it'll pick up. I feel bad for wanting them to hit an iceberg, but this is where I'm at. I need some plot. I need something happening. I need something. So I'm actually going to close this vlog out in the car today because I need to finish this vlog and I am out and about today and I figured this would just work. I did finish Luck of the Titanic last night and I gave it 3 stars. I think, again, if you liked historical fiction more than I do and you read more YA than I currently do, I think this book is actually very good. I think the standing out of this book is the history of this Chinese Exclusion Act. I think what the author was trying to say about Chinese people stowing away on the Titanic, I think that was very interesting, and it was the interesting part of this book. The last 20%, I really was fully engaged in the book, and I really did enjoy it a lot. There was a lot happening. Obviously, the Titanic is the Titanic, so there was a lot of things happening, and it was very heartbreaking. The last bit was very, very heartbreaking, but the first 80% was very slow for me and just not my jam. And I think, again, these are things that are really specific to me, not reading a lot of historical fiction anymore, not enjoying boat books. These are very Brittany specific problems. So 3 stars for me, but I really could see me recommending this to someone, because if they liked historical fiction and they liked the Titanic, I think this book would actually be very good for them. So that's my 2 cents on the book. And that is the end of these 2 and a bit days, because now I guess this is the start of the 3rd day of my slice of life reading vlog, whatever the heck this is. Thank you for voting, for those who voted on this book. Thank you for voting and getting me to read another book off my shelves. I'm glad I got another book read, and I will be doing another book haul reaction very soon for you to pick another book. And I think I'll do the same thing, another like vlog reading the book you pick. But I best head out. If you've gotten to the end of the vlog and you don't have anything to say down in the comments specifically, leave a boat emoji. I think that's perfect for a Luck of the Titanic vlog. Thanks again. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.